Welcome to Learning with Linux. In this video, we're going to talk about navigation. And not as in driving your vehicle and getting around that way, but more on the computer. First item will be understanding where you're at when you're in a Linux terminal. And then also what the directories are that you have access to. And a little bit of that structure and being able to navigate from one directory to another. Hopefully you saw the previous video on file structure and comparing a Linux file structure to a Microsoft file structure. If you haven't had a chance to watch that video, I would encourage you to do that. We make a little bit of a comparison there between the two, and they're very similar in a number of ways. As hopefully you recall, in Microsoft, the C drive or C colon is typically the drive that you are working in. In a Linux environment, it is typically the root structure. So that is the highest level of your file structure. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get started here. The first thing, I'm in a terminal window here, what you can see on the screen. And if you don't recall how to get to a terminal window, again, there's an earlier video that shows some of that. The easiest way is under the menu button in the far left-hand corner there, and your version of Linux may be a little bit different than mine, so you may find it in another place. But under this and terminal to open a terminal. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there's some information there. You'll see that my command line starts with Learning with Linux at Granite. The Learning with Linux part is who I am signed in currently as a user. So depending on how you sign into your computer, it should bring up whatever user information you had provided for that particular user. The at Granite is this particular machine. I've named this computer Granite. So whatever machine you are on, that should come up in that area. Now you can change that a little bit and how it looks and how the information is presented there. I won't go too deep into that, but just wanted to make you aware of that. So let's get started in the navigation portion. First question is going to be, what directory are we in? And the first command I'm going to expose you to is PWE, print working directory. So let's go ahead and type that in. Hopefully you have a terminal open on a computer so you can follow along. You'll see that, again, we start with the root level, which is the / and then home. So the home directory under root, and then the Learning with Linux directory also. Now, inside that directory, I have a number of other directories, and the way to see what directories are in this directory would be the ls command, list directory contents. So we will go ahead and type that in, and you can see the different folders that come up. We've got desktop, documents, downloads, so on, etc. The documents, that's the one that you're going to work in the most typically, because often we're creating documents of one type or another. Downloads, if you download something, that's typically where those are stored. Music, pictures, videos, those are relatively self-explanatory. The reason for the different folders is to try to keep your information organized so you can find it when you want to or when you need to. Now, you don't necessarily have to store things in that particular folder. In other words, I don't have to store all my pictures under the pictures folder. I could store some of them under my documents, my desktop, wherever I would like. But it's just a little bit more convenient to be able to separate those items, to be able to find them. You'll notice a folder here in the middle called Navigation Exercise. That's one that I created just for this video, and we'll use that here in just a minute. So where we just went, we opened up our current folder, and we can see the folders that are underneath it. If I'm going to navigate to one of them, like we'll take the navigation exercise folder here, if I type in CD, which is change directory, and then I type in the folder that I want to go to, in this case navigation exercise. And remember, it is case sensitive, so if I type in a small n, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. In fact, if I start to do that, and remember, if I hit the tab, it auto-completes. When I hit the tab, it doesn't know what to do because there is nothing under that. When I type in the capital N and then I hit tab, then it can auto-complete. So now I am in that navigation exercise folder, and you can see that come up. So if I do PWD, you can see that I am actually in the root home learning with Linux navigation exercise folder. And if I do an ls, you'll see the contents of that come up. In this case, under the navigation exercise, I've got animals, blocks, and food. So I have 3 different folders under that, if you will. Now if I want to move back up a level, back up to the where I started the home learning with Linux folder, I simply type in cd space ... The ... is short for basically the parent directory of whatever directory I'm in. So when I do that and I hit return, we will see that I go up a level, if you will. So PWD now brings up the home learning with Linux directory, and if I do an ls, you can see I'm back where I was previously. Now there's another item that I do want to share with you, but first off, let's pull up the graphical interface because I want to show some of this. I think it makes it a little bit easier to understand. So again, you can see here in the graphical version, and yours will look a little bit different, again, depending upon the version of Linux that you have installed. So bear in mind that that this may be slightly different, but here, let me expand that for a second. You can see that under my home learning with Linux directory, I've got desktop, documents, downloads, so on, etc. I've got all the folders that we just talked about. Now if I expand the navigation exercise, you'll see that I have animals, blocks, food. And if I take each of those and expand them further, each of those directories, to see what's in them, you'll see I have some documents in each of those. So let's go back to our screen here, or to our terminal, and let's go back to the this navigation exercise. Here, let me first bring that up just one notch, and I apologize, I need to make that just a little bit bigger so I can show everything. But let's go back to our navigation exercise. So when I do a CD and go to that, now again, when I do ls, you can see the animals, blocks, and food come up. I'm going to clear that, and we're going to start that over just here in a second. Let's do what I want to show you now is another command that's really useful for just getting an idea of what things look like, and it's called the tree command. What that's going to do is take all the folders and documents that are inside this current folder that I'm in, and it's going to put those in a tree structure. And it's really nice because it allows you to see everything. So let's go ahead and do that, and you can see that I have the animals, blocks, and food folders and all of the documents in each of those, just like my graphical representation has. Now there's additional information that you can get through the terminal, and many more powerful things that you can do through the terminal. We'll get there. Just bear with me. That's going to take a little bit before we first get our feet wet and learn how all this works, and then we'll get to some really neat things that you can do and really gain control of your system. So let's do another item here. I'm going to move the you know what, I'll leave that open yet. I'm going to do a clear here again. And let me just bring that back on the screen so you can see it. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to go up one level. Remember, we do cd ... Or actually, because it is my home directory, I can just do cd. And if I do an ls, you can see we're back to that point. So if I'm further down, say I was in my animals folder or blocks or food, and I just hit CD, it will bring me back to that main or home directory, if you will. So what I want to show you from here, and let me clear it for a second again, and let's do that ls again. I want to show you another command. It's ls-a, or list my directory contents, all of them. Because what I see here is just the folders that are visible. If I do a ls-a, and I'm going to type that in, I will get all the hidden information also, all the hidden folders and all the hidden files. So when I hit return, you can see there's a lot more there that I just couldn't see before. So you even see a .mozilla. Everything in blue is a folder. Everything in white is a file. So you can see I have a number of files that are hidden, and I have a number of folders that are hidden. And those perform a number of different functions, and we'll get to those a little bit further down. So I hope that gives you a real good understanding of navigation. I would encourage you to go in and start trying some of that. So open up a terminal window and navigate up and down your file structure. If it helps you to have the graphical user interface open, because sometimes then you can kind of see the map, if you will, and see where you can go up and down a level, and then be able to see the information that's inside a folder. And then tree can help you with that, and ls-a can help you see some things that maybe you didn't realize exist. So with that, keep on learning, and I would encourage you to sign up on our channel, to subscribe. We're going to have more content coming out, and have a great day.